Welcome back, Guardians! Today we're going to be talking about Stasis and what I think the new subclass will bring to the game. But before we start, I just want to mention that subscribing is a great way to stay up to date on the latest uploads, as well as a great way to support the channel. With that being said, let's take a look at Stasis. So Destiny has always been a game revolving around 3 different elemental types: Solar, Arc, and Void. Each of these elements opens up possible character development as well as challenges to overcome. In Destiny 1 you had Elemental Burns, a modifier that enabled both you and the enemy to deal massive amount of damage with weapons and abilities that corresponded with the active elemental type. In Destiny 2, that challenge was moved over to what are now being called Elemental Singes. It kind of does the same thing, but at a far smaller scale, where burns would increase damage done and taken with roughly 200%, Singes only boosts that number with around 20. Of course, in both Destiny 1 and 2, elemental types also corresponded to weapon elements, as well as enemy combatant shields, meaning if an enemy had a void shield, a void weapon would be the most effective way of killing that enemy. Elemental types also introduced us to another thing: armor. Armor in Destiny 2 not only randomly rolls stats, it also randomly rolls elemental type, meaning that depending on what you got could affect what mods you could put into that gear. And even in Destiny today, that's how it works. But then we have Stasis, a new subclass, the first one to ever be added after the game's releases. Stasis is all about ice, encasing your enemy and shattering them into small pieces. A cool gameplay mechanical loop that I really do believe will change up the meta in both PvE and PvP. And no, we're not wielding pure darkness, just as we're not wielding pure light. We're using light to wield these different elements, just as we're wielding the darkness to wield the power of Stasis. There are of course a lot of things we don't know yet, so take everything from here on forward as speculation. First and foremost, I do believe that we will get new armor types for Stasis. It would be really strange if there was going to be Stasis weapons and shields, but no Stasis armor. Stasis armor would not only open up the potential for balancing, meaning they could move around some of the mods currently in other elemental types of gear to give the player more diversity in gear selection. It would also introduce Stasis resistant armor mods, just as we have for all the other gear and the respective elements. Not only that, but right now there are mods that need to be in certain elements of gear to work. And I don't really see how Bungie wouldn't make some new mods that are exclusive for Stasis, just to get people to try out the new feature. Personally, I would love to see Stasis armor. I feel like if only guns and abilities gets the updated element, it would fall a little short on the finish line. Stasis needs to be a big deal. It's a brand new feature and the first ever new elemental type to the game. So adding guns and enemy combatant shields, but not armor, feels a little half-assed. With that being said, I want to ask you a question. What are your thoughts on Stasis? Let me know in the comments down below. And with that, I want to thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure making these videos for you. We're also getting closer to the 100 subscribers milestone, and I want to thank all of you lovely people for supporting me so far. With that being said, I would also like to remind people that if you haven't subscribed, then doing so is a great way to get all the latest uploads, as well as a great way to support the channel. Next time, we're going to compare heavy exotics to decide which is the king of damage dealing. Until next time, this is TCSpectre, signing off.